Hi, Carol. Thank you for calling.
Yep.
This must be so bewildering for you. We feel like we're doing all the talking here. Are there any questions you might have for us, Carol?
I guess to start with, what the
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of JKL Media Podcast, where we are breaking down the first season of Pluribus. I am one of the others, Jesse. We also have Karen.
Hello.
And Lou.
Good morning, everyone.
And currently, we are still individuals. We have not been added to the hive or whatever you call it. Today, we're talking about Got Milk. Came out a little bit early because of Thanksgiving weekend. So I was able to see it a couple of times before our discussion. And once again, a really interesting story that as they build this narrative, they are not afraid of taking their time. Lou, how about some quick thoughts?
Yeah, this was an interesting episode in that it was the first time that Carol, I think, has really felt alone because of what happens in this episode. She's felt alone, but this time she's really alone. And that sets up some interesting dynamics for her. And I think as you were talking about, Jesse, in the pre-show, this was a very visual episode, not a lot of dialogue per se. So it was always so interesting to see some of the sight gags that they did that I thought were pretty good. And it also sets up some interesting possibilities as for how Carol can fight everybody that's in, I think they're calling it the joined right now.
Very nice. How about you, Karen?
Yeah, it was a really quiet episode, but I think a lot of stuff happened. And like you said, they're not afraid of taking their time building the story, but I do think that she did an amazing job of carrying this episode on her shoulders. There were quite a few people in the beginning, obviously. They were quiet, mostly just doing their job, not interacting with her. And then the only interaction she has with anybody is the answering machine and talking on her videos. And I really do feel like she did such a great job with this.
Yeah, Rhea Seehorn is truly number one on the call sheet and carrying this show. She has a lot of heavy lifting to do where you have to care about her, you have to care about her situation. Even when she does things that are unlikable, you need to like her. And I was really happy with this one. I thought what was interesting, and we'll get into the episode now, is it starts out with a patient drinking milk. Did either one of you catch that?
I did on my second viewing.
I did catch it, but I didn't make anything of it until later on in the episode when Carol discovers all the empty milk cartons in the recycling bin.
Yeah, I did not catch that the first one. And then when I watched it the second time, I'm like, oh, well done there, Vince Gilligan team. That was very nice. So we start out, it is in the hospital, and a couple of things happen. One, is that how you say her name?
Laxmi.
Laxmi
Yep.
calls chewing her out because she made her son cry.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's still protective of her son, even though her son is part of this join. And so you wonder how much of that, we still don't know how much of the personality remains of the individual person, because it did see him sitting there eating bowl of cereal
With
like
milk in it.
Yeah, with a little kid, like a little milk in it. Yeah, I had not caught about that. And people are a little colder to her. They're not smiling at her as she walks by, and the nurse answers, but she's going to be fine.
Very terse.
Yeah, I know that's not a lot, but let's just start there and then we'll keep moving on. Karen?
Yeah, I started on this, but I thought I'd leave it for the actual discussion. Her interactions at the beginning, I guess that's the only speaking interaction she has, but she does tell one of the other people, don't give her the next time you talk to her, don't give her my phone number or whatever, which is, come on. They've already given her the phone number, but the guy just acknowledges her and walks on. And I feel like she didn't have any idea what it would be like for them not to be paying attention to her. I don't think it sunk in until like halfway through this episode. And I think she didn't feel bad. Like Lou was saying in another episode, she treats them like objects, not as people. And she had no sympathy for Laxmi's son. None.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's being demonstrated in every episode. While she misses having interaction with them, I don't think she misses anything but that kind of, I want to talk to someone. And I think she fixes that by making the videos. It was just so quiet. And in that starkness, you really get the feeling about like where her head is at, right? You feel it too from watching the episode. So just brilliant, lacks me. And the second time I watched it, it really hit me that he's drinking milk in the beginning. Laxmi's son has cereal, which I assume has milk in it. They dropped hints through the whole episode about what was going on. So I think that's cool. I love when there's little Easter eggs like that in an episode to put it in your head. Hey, they're drinking milk. And it was like Chekhov's milk when the guy was drinking it. But like I said, I didn't notice till the second time around. But yeah, a brilliant opening. And the way that Vince Gilligan illustrates how it's going to be through the rest of the episode, I thought was really good.
Good. Lou?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to add more to what Karen said
Yeah.
because of the nature of the episode. I just have to reiterate the emptiness of everything is very well done here. It's I think the first time in a series where I really feel like we as an audience get to feel how Carol is feeling without all the others there, and I think it was really eerie, I guess is the best word. So that's about all I can say about that.
Yeah, that's a great word for it.
Yeah, I agree. It is just, I think this episode is brilliant in showing Carol as good riddance. She cusses at them, F your good riddance, and then realizes, I feel she is starting to be a little bit lonely. It is one of those things, of course, I don't need these people because they
Hmm.
aren't
Right.
real people anymore. And she has now latched into, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, of playing detective to figure out how to fix this as part of her grief process of I've got to have something to do staying busy. The phone rings and that is odd. And the only reason I think she doesn't know the phone number is they you would have to, because Carol's at the hospital, so that isn't her cell. So they had to tell her what was the
Okay.
number at the cell. So maybe, and she's not thinking like if I'm at the grocery store or something, don't
Okay.
have her
Yeah.
call me.
Good idea.
But yeah,
I want to
please.
add something real quick that has
Yeah.
nothing to do with what I talked about before. The answering machine voice was played by Patrick Fabian.
Yes, I was about to get
Were you
there,
going
so
to do
please
that?
continue. Yes, please
Okay.
continue.
So he was in a couple other Vince Gilligan shows, but in case you guys are wondering what the guy looks like, he's been in a million things.
Yeah.
So feel free to look him up, Patrick Fabian. But the thing I know him from, he played Dr. Linda's ex-husband in Lucifer. And his episode was really impactful. And if you watch Lucifer, you remember this episode. He wants to kill Lucifer for sleeping with Dr. Linda. And he's in hell.
Mm.
He's reliving this thing over and over. But anyway, he was really good in that. And I didn't know until I looked it up that it was him, but when I watched it the second time, I could tell it was him. He is so great in this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll let you
yeah,
finish with that.
he played Howard Hamlin on Better Call Saul. And so a funny inside tidbit is they did not tell Rhea that Patrick was going to do the voice. So when she called and hears him, they just knew she was going to lose it. And they were like, okay, this is a great prank. And she doesn't. She just stays immediately in character, doesn't react. And then when they yell cut, she goes, was that Patrick? I can't believe you got Patrick to do this. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I will have to send you guys. There is a leak where there is a link, a clip where in an interview they asked her a question about how she would react if Helen had not died and had Helen had been part of the others. And Rhea goes through it and talks about it. And they were like, wow, and you had not thought about this beforehand? It's pretty deep. But yeah, I recognized the voice, but I couldn't think who it was till I looked up and I went, yeah, this guy, he is one of the main characters in Better Call Saul. He is the attorney that they think is the villain, but spoilers, he actually was on their side the whole time. Great actor and a perfect voice for that. And basically, they're saying, it's you, not us, and we need to break up. You know how it's often
Right.
it's not you, it's me. No,
Yeah,
it's you, and we need some space. So they
sure.
have broke up with her. Lou, thoughts on the breakup here?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. The phone call was pretty funny, and I guess they had a kind of a running gag with the phone call because they kept repeating the same lines over and over, and as she made more calls to him, that message became more and more irritating. My first thought was like after the second time, I said, one of your requests should be is that can you please shorten your message because it's driving me crazy. So, at least it was driving me crazy. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but so that was funny. But then the shot of all the cars on the highway leaving the city in both directions, that was really well done. I assume that was a computer CGI effect because I don't think they could afford to hire that many
So,
drivers and cars. So
according to the podcast, partial special effects, but a lot practical.
really,
And yeah,
Hmm.
and
wow,
that's why the director had to, like, that's why they told the director, even though there isn't a dialogue. And I was going to mention that the beautiful precision of the guy with the long hair looking, she's asleep, and then them all silently, because they would be silent, they can speak in their mind, of the precision of everyone just marching in a row, this
yep.
choreographed dance, getting into the buses, making sure all the patients they could move. And then, yes, it is brilliant when she's on top of the hotel and she looks to the left and she sees a trail of cars, almost
Hmm.
like a hurricane evacuation. I don't know
Yeah,
if you guys have ever seen that TV,
yeah.
right, thing. And then she goes middle, nothing. And then to the right, the same thing. And everyone's, we're getting the F out of here. So long, goodbye, good riddance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt, Luke, but please
No
continue.
problem. Yeah, and not being from that area it's New Mexico, right? Albuquerque.
Yes, it is. Yes, it actually
What
is New
what always
Mexico.
strikes me about even at Carol's house, and I know they built that subdivision just for the show, but I think it's pretty common is how you have the city, and then once you get past the limits, like there's nothing. It's just like flat scrub
Yeah.
brush. Yeah, it might have some mountains in the distance or something like that, but it's very inhospitable. I think that just adds to the feeling of isolation because here, where I live, when it's not winter, you've always got grass and fields and trees and
Yeah.
there's something, right? There's something, but there it looks so dead, like you're on the moon. Like it looks
Hmm.
to me like you're on Mars because of the
Yeah.
red color in that. So that really that area, that landscape really accentuates her isolation, I find, at least for me, from where I live. So I think that was really a powerful sequence again. And that you're telling me that they did a mix of practical and special effects. I can see where the price tag for the show is so high.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll have to mention, because I know like we're constantly praising and rightly Rhea for her performance, but as you just mentioned, the amount of coordination they have to do with all these extras to get all these shots like that, and I don't know if they get it all in one take or if they do multiple shots and that, or they must break it down because of they do different edit angles and that. But the you have to give a lot of credit to the production crew for being able to herd that much cattle and make it look
Mhm.
realistic with what they're doing, like having all these people line up and they're all wearing different clothes and they're all different racial types and their nationalities, whatever, ethnic backgrounds. I don't know how many people they extras they hire on a per episode basis is when they need them, but they do a great job of making it substantial. Though I do think I caught in this episode one of the extras being reused because I think I saw him at the beginning of the episode in the hospital. He was the short guy, and then I think I saw him in one of the lines leaving the city. So
Mm.
whether they did that intentionally or they didn't really care doesn't make a difference. But yeah, it's another great way to constantly remind us that Carol is the only one that's not affected because all these people are so different from each other, and yet they've all been joined. So it's really well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the ballet that happens in with the joined
Mm.
is really well coordinated. We saw
Yeah,
that when they were stocking the grocery store as well.
yeah,
And they're not just extras off the street. Sometimes they, like productions will pull people in from around the area. These are people that they have to know what they're doing because you can't just pull people off the street and have them do something like this. So I really commend them for that.
Yeah, I think it is amazing, right? That and great job on casting how different they look.
yeah,
The lady with a lot of the tattoos and different the kid drive pulling a cart and everything. I really was impressed by how everyone looks so different,
yeah,
but they still are able to do because if one breaks character and is smiling or doing something that you it can break the illusion.
yeah.
And from me, I don't think they have. I have not
Mhm.
caught them at all. Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah, good. Karen, other
I
stuff?
and this
Go
is
ahead.
just oh,
No, go
I
ahead.
just want to put this as a theory. I think the reason they're showing us all these shots is because if in the future something happens that they're starting to break down, we might start to see some different behaviors from certain individuals during some of these scenes. They may start wearing makeup again, or I don't know, whatever, or
Yeah.
they might start doing like a quick look around, or I think they're setting that up, but maybe not. We'll have to see.
No,
yeah,
I
we
think
have to be able to notice
Yeah.
Mhm.
when something like that happens, and this would be the way to do that, right?
Yeah.
No, I already talked about it, so you go,
Okay. All
Jesse.
right. No, I loved this. And then she's so alone. And let's talk about her both videos. I was wondering at first why she was putting on makeup, right? That was like, that's odd. What? There's no one there to see. Why would she care? And then when she does the video and she is saying, hey, you aren't going to like the video, but it would make me very happy if you push it out and I will have, and I love the biblical crappiness, right? Yeah, the how does she put it? She goes biblically shitty mood. I just thought that was
It was great.
hilarious. Yeah,
It
that
telling us that she's a writer
yeah.
through things like that, a turn of phrase or something.
Yeah. And by the way, we talked about last time, it's only been 8 days since this change, which is amazing that it hasn't even been a week. So she is definitely in the stage of grief. Definitely in a, I would make the argument in shock and having to do this. So, any thoughts on either one of the videos? And we'll start with you, Karen.
I don't know if I missed it, but where was it going? Was
The
it
other
going?
the other 12.
So she made copies.
No, she wanted the others to do that and subtitle them too.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
she wanted them to
Yeah,
know
I
what's
do
going
remember
on.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So my thought with that is they could easily have destroyed those,
Or not deliver them.
And we
and
don't know if they have or not.
so I'm assuming that will just be something that happens in the next episode, that either they contact her or
Yeah.
there's just radio silence.
I'm expecting the one that we saw in the beginning of the last episode will be one of the respondents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope
because
so.
they've set up the fact that he also does not trust them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And so he would be open. And by the way, also, as we talked about last time, her cussing at him and then hanging up told him, oh, she's not part of this,
She's different.
joined. Yes.
And we saw also that he does open the door. He will be able to get this if it lands on his doorstep. He's not sequestered.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that why they set that up, that we show that he goes to the door? Otherwise, I would think he's just stuck down there and he doesn't
Yeah.
do anything. But yeah, I wonder if he feels the same way as Carol. Have they left him alone like they have with Carol? It doesn't look like they're all over him.
They're bringing him food, and it feels like, now I don't know, this is just my guess, is that they're only unhappy with her because
Because of what she's
yeah,
doing,
because she made them all cry, and
right?
she is being she is being so unreasonable, or from the Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, I feel like that's what they're thinking.
And they're protecting themselves.
Yes.
They do have this will to survive, and I think it finally kicked in with this
Yeah.
last one, that they affect her too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping we see them interact at some point. Her and the guy from, oh, I can't remember where he's from. Somewhere in
Paraguay
South
or
America,
something. Yeah.
Paraguay. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I hope they interact. I don't know how that's going to happen. I hope he goes to Arizona, that he realizes they have to be in the same place.
Yeah.
But I wonder what's going to happen next as well with any of those other people. Are I feel like they wouldn't introduce that band of idiots, I guess. They are to be all right with what's happened. Are we going to see them? Because they set that whole thing up with her interacting with them and they showed us what they're like. I really want to see, like, the hedonist, for example. I want to see him again. But I feel like they've set things up and we're not seeing progress in that way. We didn't even see that guy from Paraguay in this episode. Like a normal show would go back and forth between storylines. It doesn't happen here. We
No.
get one storyline per episode, and I really do like that, except it's weird to me to not get other scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that she was interacting with them, the joined.
Yeah.
I wonder what's happening with those little videos,
Yeah.
and how they're going to take that, because they do have an instinct to save themselves now. What's going to happen when they see those videos?
Yeah. Lou.
I found it interesting that she, like you said, Jesse, why was she putting on the makeup? And then when it's revealed that she's going to record the video, I said, oh, okay. But it speaks to a function of society in that if we want to be taken seriously in that, we have to put on a mask of whether it's makeup or like if you're a guy, you would have to shave or whatever, or you shampoo your hair. So in order for her to be taken seriously, she has to pretend that she's somebody that she's not really. If she would just go and record the video straight without the makeup and that, and even that, like for the actor for Rihan, that must be. I guess as an actor, you've learned to be somewhat fearless, but and I might sound like a Neanderthal here, but I would think as a woman that she's not young and she's not old, but she's on that in between zone to do these scenes without makeup, to not look the best that she can. For her must take a bit of courage. I'm watching another show with is it Claire Danes? I think The Beast Within, and she's like t totally not wearing makeup, and she looks really rough. And she's doing all these scenes, and she's a good actor. But it's she was the star of Homeland, if that rings a bell with
Hmm.
anybody.
Yes.
But if you watch her in The Beast Within Me, she's wow, does she look rough? And these actors must they have to be brave at times. So I find that dynamic interesting. And it's also humorous because she's doing this, but yet she's depending on the others to deliver the goods. Because she even said, you got to subtitle this and everything and make 12
Yeah.
copies and deliver it. And of course, then we get the sight gag that keeps on going is with the drone coming up to pick up the
Yeah.
package, which was
Yeah.
hilarious.
It is. They don't even want it. They're willing to do anything they can for her
Yeah,
as long as they don't have to be close to her. It
physically there.
is
Yeah.
it is like us at COVID, where you're doing
Hmm.
social distancing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's pretty hard to pull off humor when you only have one character in an episode. So I thought the drone was a great ad, and of course it plays out better even later on. But so I thought so that was well done. And then when she does the second video, her poor instincts get the best of her, and she comes across as really pissed off and antagonistic, and even she realizes that no, I can't send this video. It's just gonna turn the other people off. So she ended up deleting it. So I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too, that she deleted it, right?
Yeah.
Good. Karen, have you
I just
talked?
gotta say that drone shot, that was hilarious.
You first hear you think, is it a mosquito or a wasp or what
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Yeah,
that?
And I like how when it's flying, the claw is moving a little bit, right?
Yeah.
To let
Kudos
you
to the
know that
operator of that thing.
they did such a great job.
Yeah.
When she's watching it try and pick it up, because she didn't weigh it, she just went, yeah,
Oh, you're
feels
talking about the
right.
garbage now.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
So when the drone picks it up, it's obviously heavier than what they have asked.
Yeah.
And just the whole like Keystone Cops feeling, you guys should, our listeners should really go look that up, Keystone
yeah.
Cops. No
Aging
one
yourself.
knows that. No one knows that reference.
Dating yourself, Karen.
Definitely. It's before my time too, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
It's just funny to see them do something that's not perfect because they've coordinated everything. And this is the only way they can think to pick up the garbage without interacting with her. And it's just so funny that it doesn't work. You gotta think in your head, what do they have a contingency plan for going to pick up that garbage? Because normally they wouldn't leave it. But the ramifications didn't occur to me until I watched it the second time because it was just so great.
Yeah.
You really see Gilligan's sense of humor here. It's just so funny. I don't know about you guys, but I actually laughed out loud when I watched it. And that usually I smile at stuff. You don't really laugh
Yeah.
out loud. But this, it got a chuckle out of me out loud.
Yes. Same here.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that was so funny. At first, I was thinking, why are they're passive aggressively being jerks, right? That, okay, yes, we will gladly do this if you do blank. There was a great Penn and Teller BS episode where for funds was a prank, they had these long list of things you had to do to recycle. And here's the guy trying to follow all of them because he really does care. And no, it's because the drone can only pick up so much.
Right.
And we do get some fun. It is very interesting, but it does pay off that because she has to take the trash herself, that's when she notices all the milk cartons. So I was like, well done, guys.
And how much
Uh,
did you love when the cord between the drone and the garbage wrapped around the
Yeah.
the light pole like 5 times. That was so funny. I'm sorry. I
No, and then it's
every
sitting.
beat of that is
Yeah.
hilarious.
And now it just sits there. Like every time
Right.
she leaves. Let's talk wolves and then we're going to talk milk. I thought that was very scary and very suspenseful and then very touching that she goes to protect Helen's gravesite. Also funny, the shotgun in the middle of the night when you're worried, and then the next morning, oh, there's the easy button. And oh, by the way, I've had a key for these handcuffs the whole time. So, Lou, let's start with you. What do you got?
Yeah, again, it was a great way to show that how alone she is and what the thin line is between civilization and total anarchy, I guess you could say, in that now that she's on her own, she's pretty defenseless against all these wolves. Like when she goes out there in the backyard, at first she's mad, but then she realizes, oh, I'm outnumbered and I'm in
Yeah.
trouble here. And that I thought that was really well done. Though I was wondering again, because the landscape is so desolate, where do these things live like during the daytime? But I assume that there's closer
Yeah.
mountains or
And
foothills that they
and
don't show in the shots or something like
yeah,
that.
and I
But
assume because everything else is gone now and the
hmm
lights are turned off all the time,
yeah,
that as they forage for food, they've
further
gotten,
afield.
yeah,
Yeah,
they've gotten more and more bold.
yeah,
And so now that they've gotten that, yeah,
yeah. So that was really again a great way of showing how precarious Carol's position is without the others, and it leads to her calling them up and saying, "Turn the lights back on," and everything. And the work that she had to do to bring all those tiles to cover Helen's body just shows again if she's in your corner, Carol can be quite a formidable person because that was not easy for her to do that. Yet her feelings for Helen are so strong that she did that because she did a lot of tiles, probably more than was necessary. And then she put that little stand, a memorial wreath or whatever it was, back up as well. So that was a great way of showing how her in her mind, I guess you could say, with no dialogue or no voiceover or anything like that or narration. So I thought it was really a well done scene that serves several purposes, showing that she's isolated, showing her character, and but not forgetting to have some humor, as you mentioned with the shotgun when she wakes up in the police car in the morning and see there's this little tab and she presses it and then the shotgun comes out of the holder. A really great way of a nice little button to the whole sequence with that little shotgun button thing. A
hmm
button on the button.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think it illustrates also that she's really intelligent, but sometimes she's really stupid. She has a very narrow field of knowledge. And I feel even if it was nighttime and I went in there, I would realize there's some kind of latch, right? To open to get the shotgun out of the holder, but it doesn't even occur to her. She just tries to pull on it. And I understand she's panicked a little bit, and the fact that she didn't realize she could get out of the handcuff was also pretty funny. She's driving around in the police car.
Yeah, I kept on wondering,
Um,
when is she going to call them up and ask them to take it off?
and I love those little things that shows, hey, she's just a normal person.
yeah,
Sometimes, and I'll bring up like The Walking Dead with Daryl. He's so capable and he's Superman almost when it comes to dealing with the zombies and stuff. And we see that with many people in that show. Daryl, Carol, Maggie, they do have failings, but they deal with a lot of stuff that like a normal person wouldn't be able to deal with. And so it's really nice to see someone who has big flaws as the quote unquote hero of our story. Yeah, I like that as well, that they've given her clay feet.
yeah, yeah. And I do think that sometimes it's interesting to have, we both, all three of us love The Martian. And by having our hero actually have the scientific knowledge that he needed to grow potatoes and everything works, and because it helps the story. But we all are that way. I am horrible at self repair and such. I can't fix anything in the house. I have to hire a repair guy to do anything. I don't give me that. Just go to YouTube and figure it out. No, don't have any of that. So it was, I like seeing her that way too. And once again, if she had not pissed off the others, she could call and say, hey, wolves are attacking. Is there any way I could get you guys to help cover her grave? And they would have gladly. It would have been very quick work for them. But also, I wonder, would she have wanted that? Because
Mhm.
she doesn't want to admit that she is needs anyone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she especially doesn't want to need them.
yeah. Anything else? The wolves. I do like the idea they did not have a gun, because I they are not people that would own a gun, a rifle or
Hmm.
anything. At first, when she was going into the garage, I was like, are they going to have a gun? That is just so uncharacteristic. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the only thought I had after that sequence was when she was doing her investigation of the milk, was when she was going into these other places. I thought I would probably have a gun with me just in case there were wolves or the other wolves, because
yeah,
she's the only one. You get so used to shows like The Walking Dead or a video game like The Last of Us that wherever you go, you have to have a gun because there might be other people around and you don't know how they're going to
hmm,
behave. But in this show, you don't need a gun because there's no chance of any sort of hostile action being taken against you by other
yeah,
people. But there are wild animals, so I'm still think that she hasn't totally leaned into the precarious situation that she is in at times when
yeah,
she's by herself.
Yeah. And I also, one of the thoughts I had is she goes in and she deliberately pulls out a bag of dog food. And I thought to myself, why didn't she just take that and put it around her house, take a bunch of dog food out and feed it to the animals? But she is dumb. Like we said, things don't occur to her unless it's something in her circle of knowledge. It's just easy to see from us, our point of view, hey, she could have used that, but whatever.
yeah. I thought exactly what you said. I thought she was going to do that with the dog food.
Yeah,
And little anything else on wolves? We're good?
mm-mm, we're
Okay.
good.
Lou? Did you
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to have to talk through. She, I think, based on her skills as a writer, even though she does historical romance, I guess there's always a little mystery involved with it. So she starts doing research, figures out that everyone drinks milk, goes and figures out that they are definitely, it's not milk. Now, I don't understand how she got from seeing the code to going to the grocery store and figuring out it's the same bag. That I don't understand how they did that. So I don't know if either one of you can explain that to me. But she does decide that it's being made in the milk, and then this other plant is possibly making this substance that she suspects either keeps them joined or for some other reason. Karen, how about you?
Yeah, one of the things that struck me is why, if they're manufacturing these things, which it looks like they are manufacturing dog food.
Yeah.
Number one, that's weird. Who's using that? Because you don't see dogs walking around anywhere.
And I guess after you're joined, if you have a pet, you still have a pet. I did think it was weird because they wouldn't go and kill the dogs because they don't
Right.
like killing anything. But I also thought, once again, we talked about this, they are so literal that when she says, I want my sprouts the way, they don't own a dog. They
Right.
don't own a cat. You
They
do
just
not
bring
need,
everything.
yeah, everything,
Yeah.
literally.
And why would they need barcodes?
Yeah,
Is one of my things. Why would it occur to them to put a barcode on something when they're just going to go and take it?
yeah,
They're not scanning anything. And it seems like a waste of time, unless they're just using the old packaging, which is fine, but it's
yeah,
weird. And I can't read barcodes. So what is she seeing in that barcode? I get what you're saying. That's definitely a hand wavy thing to me, but maybe she's putting something together that I'm not. Maybe Lou knows a little bit more, but I do have to say that your point of she's a writer, so she does research is so valid that authors, writers, they want to, if they're a real writer, and I'm putting air quotes around that as well, because everyone who writes is a real writer, but if
yeah,
they're any writer that's worth their salt, they do research before they write a book
yes,
about the subject matter. And she's so used to doing this that it's second nature to her to investigate this. I did love, again, we have a lot of these beats of humor when she falls into the dumpster. That was hilarious as well. She falls
yes,
over the edge.
Because she's so short.
Right. She
yeah,
can't reach any of it. And it shows again that they're picking up the garbage quickly. They're very efficient. The garbage isn't piled up anywhere. It's weird that it's only milk cartons in there. I get that's what takes her on the path she's on,
yeah.
but it seems like there'd be more
Yeah,
garbage
it seems like they would be eating other things, right?
or doing other things. Are they showering? They seem to be clean. It's just weird. What is their waste? So anyway, it's weird. All the little things that didn't add up to me, where it got us is rewarding. So I'm willing to hand wave this one.
Okay. Lou?
Yeah, I'm right there with both of you on the barcode breadcrumb trail. The only thing I got from it was that she compared the barcode of that bag of crystals to the barcode of the dog food. Why she did that, I don't know. But then they looked similar enough to her. That's why she went to that particular factory. But yeah, that's a kind of a hand wavy moment. And that's maybe in an episode where, and I didn't even know if they would do it with the others. Maybe Carol could have just asked them, what is this? But with nobody there, she had to do it on her own. So they had to visually show us how she was coming up with the conclusions that she was. So it was like Karen said, you kind of have to hand wave that bit.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand, like you, Jesse, how she went from the dog food or from the crystals to the dog food to the factory. So that's the part of the episode that I was going, wait, what's going on here? I don't get how she got to where she's getting. Yeah.
Let me say
Did the podcast talk about it at all, or?
no. And let me say that I love that. I am sad that you guys can't clear it up, but I'm thrilled that, okay, I wasn't alone in
That we're
this.
all in the same boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
okay, it isn't something that I missed because every
And
once in a while we'll
also,
go, oh, yeah,
why did she even need to compare it to something else? Wouldn't the milk have that information on it?
yeah, I don't know.
So all she really needed was the cartons.
Yeah,
Still, we get that visual of other things are manufactured in the same place. And so again, yeah, hand wavy. But I'm
yeah,
sorry we couldn't clear it up for you.
that's all right. I appreciate it. And we then get the cliffhanger. She saw something, and we have no idea what it was. And if either one of you want to take a guess on what you think it is, I'm interested. I've given up trying to guess where the show is going to go. How about you, Lou? Any final thoughts on where we are and possibly where we're going?
I'll just offer up somebody has an explanation. I just quickly searched the internet about the barcode.
Oh, good.
Basically, she just, because she got an error code when she scanned the original bed, she just found, and I remember this now, she just went to the shelves and looked for another bag that was about the same size. And then that's how she got the dog food bed and found out that it was, so she wasn't basing it on the barcode per se. She was basing it more on the size of the bag. And it was the same size as a dog food bag. So that's why she went to the dog food factory.
Okay.
That
Good.
makes a little more sense than the barcode.
Wouldn't the barcode be different though?
Yeah, you would
On
think
dog
so.
food?
Maybe
I mean,
if you compared the two, they probably were different. But
yeah,
of, as far as I could remember, they looked pretty similar. I mean,
sure.
most barcodes do.
So I guess she's assuming that because the substance is a new substance, they're just using
The dog food
another bag.
facility.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
I
just using
guess.
dog food bags for this new substance. So that makes a little
Okay.
more sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's explain it away like that because I
Yeah.
don't want to wonder about.
Yeah. Which makes sense,
Sure.
more sense than saying because
Yeah.
like you said, Karen, who can read a barcode? Like you look at two barcodes, they look fairly similar. So the fact that the bag was the same size as a dog food bag makes more sense as to why she
Sure.
went there.
Sure.
Getting back to your question, Jesse, as to where are we going with this? I haven't got a friggin' clue because she's not a scientist. She's not going to be able to manufacture this on a scale large enough to or use that knowledge to taint it or sabotage it enough to prevent it. She might just use this to God, how she can't even really kidnap one of them either because they all know where they each are at any given moment. So I'm pretty stumped, which is good. I don't know what knowledge this is gonna, how useful this knowledge is gonna be to her, other than that she realizes that their joining has to be facilitated by some external agent, as opposed to just being a straightforward, or not straightforward, but a telepathic or whatever it is, agent that's keeping them all communicating with one another. I assume that this substance is somehow aiding in their communication between each other, is my guess of what it's for. I don't think it's a substitute for diet of any type. It's definitely something to do with the being joined. And she's obviously going to try to share this with the others. And maybe the guy in Paraguay might be knowledgeable enough to make some specific use of it. I don't know. But again, because of the scale of she's won against the world, like I just don't see how she can really use this to her advantage in a large way. And in a small way, there's it doesn't matter because they're indivisible. So yeah, I'm stumped as to what she's going to do with this. I do hope that I don't know why, but I just want to see the guy from Paraguay again.
Yeah.
Same.
Carol wants to see the Elvis guy. I want to see the Paraguay guy.
Yeah. I'm hoping against hope that we don't get a Soylent Green moment here. I feel like that trope would be too easy for this. I hope it's not a person that she sees. I don't know what it is, obviously. None of us know. I'm trying not to speculate too much on it, but I do really hope that it's not people that have died. And it's not just because that is like repugnant to us, but I really do feel like if he's done that, he's leaning on all these other things that have done that in the past. So,
You might want to just explain what that Soylent Green is for newbies.
oh, for people that don't know, Charlton Heston, it was Charlton Heston,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So Charlton Heston is questioning, it's a dystopian movie, Soylent Green. He's questioning what is happening because everybody gets these like little squares of food in the future because everything is scarce and yeah. And he investigates into what they are, and they're manufacturing like dead people into these little squares. And there's a really iconic line where he says, Soylent Green is people. Yeah, I urge you, if you're into science fiction and dystopian stuff, go watch Soylent Green. The themes still hold up. Anyway, it's people being manufactured into this food product because everything is so scarce. That's the only resource they have. And the assumption is that they're turning it into these little squares so that people don't know what the substance is. And they have different colors. And anyway, it's a really great movie. But I hope it's not people. I don't know about you guys. I feel like that would be a little trite. I'm
Well,
not sure.
yeah, I don't think it will be because they're vegetarians.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
But they are people that have already died if they're people.
yeah,
And they have mentioned that if the lobster's already dead, they'll do something with it, right?
good
For the
point.
guy.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
But I don't know.
but they might not consider themselves as eating meat if they are eating others. They just want to reabsorb as much of them as they can.
yeah.
I never even really thought of that until you mentioned it, the Soylent Green angle, Karen.
You didn't?
No, and she said it's sticky. Like what, why would it
The substance,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why is
I,
the
it,
substance sticky?
I'm guessing it's how they manufacture it, right? That it's like
Yeah,
olive oil, but thinner.
yeah, I think that they wouldn't mention. I think it's like you said earlier, like it's a checkoff clue. I think that there's
Mm-hmm.
something about it being
Mhm.
sticky that we just don't know enough at this point. So
It does
yeah,
like to do that, to
I
drop threads in.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think it's people though.
I hope not. I really hope
Yeah,
not.
yeah, I don't think so either. What I am,
because
yeah,
she would have. That place wasn't air conditioned or anything. She would have smelled it before she lifted the tarp, I think.
yeah,
But
Right.
it has to be
Just
something.
the gasp.
Yeah,
It's
it's whatever
horrific,
it
whatever
is,
she
whatever it
saw.
is, it's recognizable.
yeah.
So there's not too many things that would cause you to gasp like that.
Nothing that's shelf stable that I can think of.
Yeah. But to produce the amount of milk that a lot of people died though, over
A
80.
lot. And again, that's a thread.
But they were pulling people out and were they burying them? They were taking them somewhere. Oh, they were taking them somewhere.
Yep.
That's right. They put them in
Right.
the back of that truck. But
Yep.
they
They were
never
just
showed us where
gathering them.
yeah, they just never showed where they were taking them to. We just assumed it was to burial sites.
And they
But,
offered to take Helen off her hands as
yep,
well,
yep,
remember?
yep,
So again, threads.
yep,
But God, I really hope it's not that.
yeah, yeah.
That would disappoint me.
Wow,
I don't know if it would disappoint me, but it sure would shock me.
I'm, I was dismissing this totally till you
Oh,
just
it's
started
not,
talking
it's
about it.
important. It's important.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
meant the idea that
The
Oh,
idea that it's
that
people.
it's Soylent Green.
yeah,
I was like, nah, that's. But the more you think about it, you're like, I don't know if I'd like this, and it would make it them more villainous. But
Sure.
I could see the clues are there.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
yeah. So that makes me look at those earlier scenes like with Zosia when she was collecting the body out of the car and that, and they were putting it in the back of the van or the moving van. Yeah, it makes me look at that scene in a different way now.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're all over the hospital.
Yeah,
The hospital is busy when outside isn't terribly busy.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm picking up on clues here, but I'm not sure if I'm putting them together as well as Carol put together her clues.
yeah,
Just a thought.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
please, let's
Well,
not go there.
we'll find out next week.
I think he's much more original than that.
Are
So
we off for a week? What is going? Next episode is on the 5th. No, we should be all right.
it's
Did they
just
drop it
it's
early
a
this week because of
yeah,
Thanksgiving?
Wednesday. Yeah, because of Thanksgiving, yeah.
Okay.
They gave us a Thanksgiving gift.
Yeah.
And that is irritating to me as well. I like that I got to see it early, but that means we have to wait longer to resolve this cliffhanger.
Yep.
So it's a little cruel. I feel like it's another kind of joke that he's playing on us, right? Here, I'll give it to you early, but then I'll give you this huge cliffhanger
Yeah.
at the end of the episode that you got to wait for.
Yeah, that's kind of like Stranger Things. They dropped 4 episodes and now you have to wait till December 26th to get the next one.
Then you
Right.
had to wait 2 years in between seasons too.
Was it
So
more than 2?
Yeah.
I think.
yeah.
So just like Lou Googled something, I Googled and there is a Cynthia Bannock posted this morning. What is Carol's theory about the synovial fluid in Pluribus. Carol undercovers a horrifying link between the hive's mystery milk and some human fluid, hinting the others survived on recycled dead human remains.
See, I don't want that to be the case. Is that someone speaking from inside knowledge, or is that just someone
This is a
speculating?
theory. This is a theory.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
this is not
And I'm sure that the viscosity and everything is a clue for us.
Hmm.
I can't put that clue together. I'm not a person that does things like
yeah.
Yeah, it might be like because they are vegetarians, but maybe they're extracting some liquid. I don't know, maybe spinal fluid or who
Yeah.
knows what, cerebral
Mhm.
fluid or something, some
and
fluid
they're
bodies.
already dead.
Yeah,
So they're not killing them.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't
what
know that
happened-
they said they're vegetarians. All
What-
they
what
said is they're not going to kill living things to eat.
Well, which kind of makes them vegetarians.
Of course,
Yeah.
but they haven't come out and said we only eat plant matter.
But it does raise another question. What happens when they run out of dead people? But people are dying every day, but is that enough to maintain their supply? I don't know.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
There must be an artificial way or another way to make whatever it is that they're doing.
And you'd
Wow.
think they'd be happy that Carol is killing people, if that's the case, right? Because they
Yeah.
don't have to kill more people.
Yeah. And
It's
yes, I
quite
want
the
to
mystery.
stress this is theory. This
Theory.
is a
Okay,
theory.
good.
This is someone speculating only. But as you guys just said, it matches a lot of the scenes we've seen.
Yeah, it matches some clues, definitely.
Yeah.
And just as a side note, real quick, I looked up on the Apple Press site. I have that bookmarked. There's no pictures yet, by the way, but it says Carol, it's called HDP, which I'm
Yeah.
going to speculate on what that means. Carol shares a horrific discovery, so she's going to tell people.
Yeah.
And learns new truths in the process. Mr. Diabate, who is Mr. Hedonism, right, lives life to the fullest in Sin City. So we are going to get 2 storylines this next week, and it's going to be fun, I think, to see him again. Anyway, sorry about that.
No, gosh, now I'm speculating. I'm thinking if this is the case, and I don't know if it will be or not, it isn't they're using the whole bodies, it's just parts of the body. I
Right.
think like amino acid or spinal fluid or something that you get from a body that similar to taking blood and or using an they're thinking of it as organ donation. After you die, before you die, they'll take your heart or your liver or your lungs or your corneas. And so that could be their thought is that's what they're doing for this. Is
Yeah.
it isn't making it as human. They're using that as the same way we use organs to prolong life.
Yeah.
That's
It's,
my theory.
One meaning of that acronym could be that it's a modified resistant starch currently used as a food additive. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it's standing for, but I guess we'll find out next week.
I know you will be unhappy if this is what happens, Karen, but you should also be very pleased that you guessed this.
I don't
Because
know.
I had not gotten that at all. I don't know about Lou. Lou, had you had that
No,
theory at
I
all?
hadn't really thought of that because it just seemed out of character for the
Right.
way the joining had been presented. But yeah, I think Karen has a very solid insight there that could come to fruition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope not. There's also a coalition called the HDP Nexus Coalition, which fights food crises.
Okay. Good.
So the Humanitarian Development Peace Nexus Coalition.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I did want to say the music during in case I didn't mention this earlier, the score when they were doing the dance and choreographed leaving was absolutely stunning. That
Yeah.
helped that visual.
Yeah.
Really well done. And they are saying they use a full orchestra when they
Wow.
score this.
That's great.
Yeah. And so this is not a cheap show. I do not understand how Vince Gilligan got the money to do this. I guess Apple has,
Breaking Bad gave him a lot of
yeah,
leeway in things.
yeah.
And
And then
this is getting so much press
yeah,
that I have to think Apple is happy with their outlay here.
I would think so. All right. Any final thoughts, Lou?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that point about Apple being happy with $15 million an episode. How many subscribers, like how many people watch the show? I don't think it's over 5 million, but I mean, today's market, maybe those are acceptable numbers.
They are.
The only thing that's I think is more excessive is Stranger Things. Apparently their final season episodes were like at 30 million an episodes. And they spent like $500 million on 8-10 episodes. That's
A
crazy.
lot.
But and then like the new Star Trek New Worlds, those episodes are pretty expensive too. They're over 10 million, I think, an episode as well. But so
Yeah,
I don't
but
understand.
remember,
I don't
those are
understand the economics.
proven franchises,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't understand the economics of today's TV streaming market versus the audience numbers, because back in the old days when there was only the three networks, you were getting like 50 million, 100 million viewers. You could see the justification for the cost, but now they're spending crazy money and they're only getting 4 or 5. And yeah, I just no wonder streaming subscription rates are so expensive.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead if you want to say something before I say my final thoughts.
Yeah, I asked AI what makes an online show on Apple TV successful. And they said that they shoot for high budget original content. Apple invests in original programming with high production values to differentiate itself from competitors, aiming for prestigious, high quality content rather than a large volume of show. And they said that they also they show MLS games and they have a 5-year deal for Formula One. So I think the whole idea is that so you get subscribers and they are paid money to, I'm sure they have to pay money for all the sports things, but the idea is we're building a brand that's enough for us. And I don't know, with Apple being profitable with phones and everything else, tablets, that they go, this is a loss leader, but it helps build our brand as a very quality brand.
Yeah, I guess Amazon Prime has the
Yeah.
same thing. Oh, and on a totally unrelated note, Amazon Prime is reviving Stargate.
Yeah, my husband told me that this morning.
I've never been a big fan of the show, but I know a lot of other people are excited.
He is a huge Stargate person.
So I wonder if they're going to throw $30 million an episode at that show.
Probably
Yeah.
not. They were pretty low budget even back in the day.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
But spent a lot of money on Lord of the Rings, and I don't know if they're going to get their money back on that series, but because it was not really well liked by a lot of people.
All
Interesting
right, so
times.
yes,
So final
Lou, finish your thoughts. Yes.
Final thoughts. Yeah, very interesting episode. It's the series as a whole is stressing more the visual style of storytelling over the more traditional dialogue-driven narrative, and I find it a refreshing change in that aspect. This cliffhanger was out of the blue, and now that because of our discussion, it's taken on even more importance. I thought it was important to begin with, but I think it's even more important now that we find out what it's all about and how Carol is going to be able to make any relevant use of it as well. Yeah, I'm hooked.
yeah, same. Same.
Karen,
It's so good.
no other final?
So good. I don't know. I hate cliffhangers this big on shows that you can't like binge.
Mhm.
I'm not used to that again. We've
The good
been
old
conditioned
days.
now, right? We've been conditioned now for what, 10, 15 years that we're not going to get this weekly thing of waiting for the next episode. So it's a little frustrating, but then I go, okay, this used to happen all the time. I really shouldn't be that
Yeah.
upset about it.
Yeah. For example, I really enjoyed Landman on Paramount Plus, Billy Bob Thornton. And
Mhm.
the second season just started, and I'm waiting till they're all done. And then I'm going to
Right.
watch them because I'm not having to discuss it with anyone. And the beauty
I
of
do
that
that
is,
too.
Yeah, the beauty of that is there's so much to watch everywhere that it isn't like you're sitting there, oh my goodness, I've run out of stuff to watch. It just
Yeah,
Never.
yeah,
there is so much to watch
yeah.
all the time.
I just don't know how they're making money with so much content. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more than you can watch. And I don't do that. I like the waiting between episodes because it gives you time to absorb and breathe. Whereas if
Digest.
you binge them, every plot point just gets sublimated by the one that comes after it. I'm old school. I don't want to go way back to those days where if you missed something, the only way you could watch it if it came up in reruns. That was
Yeah.
terrible. But this, at least, once we started getting DVD or VHS machines and that, then at least you could capture something and watch it without
Yeah.
having to wait till the summer reruns.
Yeah.
But I this releasing it one at a time. I like it when shows release like maybe 2 or 3 episodes up front to
Yeah.
get your interest up and then go to the weekly. I think that's my favorite model.
I think I do both. There are times when I'm trying to stay caught up on Matlock after I
Oh yeah.
binge the first season. I'm watching it. There's other shows that I'm okay watching every week. Then others you can, and I think partly because I'm wrapped up into all the holiday Hallmark movies. I'm like, okay, I've got time to do that. And then I'll just save Landman as a Christmas present where I can binge them all times. All
Yeah.
right. As usual, we have gone all over the place and we appreciate y'all's indulgence
Yep.
as we catch up. I just am so glad that this show is out there, and I'm so glad you guys, we all agreed to talk about it because it
Mm.
makes it extra special. And we would love some feedback. And if someone wants to give us a feedback, how can they, Karen?
They can email us at jklmediareviews@gmail.com. You can get in touch with me at Aliveria on social media, and I have a blog, alistuff.com.
All right, Lou.
You can find me on this channel on YouTube, the JKL Media Reviews, where we do our one-offs and limited series runs. We're currently flip-flopping between Pluribus and The Expanse. And we also have a bunch of episodes of other TV series. 12 Monkeys is the main one, I guess, the biggest one that we did. We've done one-offs on movies, music, and so forth. And on my main channel, Lou's Reviews, you can find my Stephen King interview or podcast, as well as my writers' interviews and our archived episodes of the entire Babylon 5 series, plus the animated movie, which was fun to do as well. And on Twitter and X, you can find me at Lou W. Sitzma, SYTSMA.
And I am at Jesse Jackson DFW on Twitter, aka X. You can hear me talk music on Set Listing Bruce as I'm finishing up the year. We'll be booking new guests in January. So if you want to join me and talk about music, please let me know. We will be back next week with another episode of Pluribus. We'll be back talking The Expanse. And so if you've never watched that science fiction show, as Lou and Karen both mentioned, it is really fun to watch, and we want you to come along with the ride.
And we're not that far into it,
No,
so
we're
you only
not.
have to watch a few episodes to catch up.
Absolutely. All right, everyone, we're recording this today after Thanksgiving here in the U.S. So I hope that everyone in the U.S. had a great Thanksgiving weekend. For everyone else, I hope you had a good Black Friday and a good Thursday. Everyone be safe, be kind, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And scene.
Yeah. And that wraps up another episode of the JKL Media Podcast. Whether you're a longtime fan or just discovered the podcast, we hope today's conversation sparked some reflection, curiosity, or even a rewatch. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs a little more joy in their life. You can find us on all major platforms. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep the story going.